Everybody, today we're going to work on an exercise that is great for guitar players of any level, really. Forces you to use all four fingers, and it's something I use every day with my beginning guitar classes. As the classes get better at it, you just try different variations of it and try to get the metronome to a higher tempo. So anyway, the whole thing with this is, with the guitar, you'll find that there are students who will try to use, like, make a finger kind of dominate, and they'll prefer to play everything with their first finger or everything with their third or whatever. And a lot of students, you'll see a lot of this. We all do as guitar teachers. We see students that don't want to use their pinky. So this is an exercise that I start with the first day, and I let students know that we're going to play it on a regular basis. Actually, we play it every day, to be honest with you. And it forces you to use the pinky. So anyway, the first thing we got to make sure that the students get is how to fret some notes. So you've gone over, you know, the names of the strings and the open string, and they've had the feeling of sort of strumming, you know, not necessarily chords, but moving the pick up and down the strings and getting used to that. Now you get them to fret notes. So I'll start with the easiest, or one of the easiest notes on the guitar to play. So take your first finger and put it at the first fret, excuse me, of the high E string. And that's an F note. Should sound like that. Now, when you go to play that, many of you yourselves as beginners or your students will sound like this. They'll get that muted sound. So now you go back to the things that we tell our beginning guitar players all the time. Number one, is your hand in C shape? Which means, does it look like you sort of are holding a beverage or something and you move it over like that? That's the C shape that we play with on guitar, trumpet, cello. It's on many different instruments. The C shape's important. Next thing you ask your students or yourself is, are you holding the note firmly down to the fretboard? Because if it's not firm, you're not going to get the right tone. The next thing you ask is, are the fingers arched? Because students will try to play like this, and they'll try to do different things with flat fingers. So if I put that together, C shape, holding firmly with arched fingers, I should get that sound I want, which is an F. Okay? Could take some time. That's the first note you want to get. You're fretting that note. Then, take your second finger, put it on the second fret of the same string, and then your third finger at the third fret on the same string, and then pinky at the fourth fret of the same string. So I'd like to tap into people's musical instincts. So let's go back to that first note there, that F note that I started with. So these are beginning students. Maybe they've never played an instrument before, and I give them a rhythm. I say, do call and response. I play a rhythm, you play it back to me. So I'll play. They'll play back. Then I'll try to maybe make it more complicated. And then I'll see if they can handle this. And if they're beginners, that rhythm will make them laugh, and they'll all acknowledge that was maybe tough. But some kids might get it. Then I'll move on to the next note. Second finger, second fret. And I'll do that call and response game again. Just one measure rhythms back to each other. And then maybe two more. And then I'll do the same thing at the third fret and fourth fret. And then the students will get that feeling of like, okay, I heard something and now I play it. It's great. It's good for ear training, for rhythms, and it gets them playing. And all of a sudden they're playing rhythms that if they saw notated, they would freak out and not be able to read it. But they can play them. So you tap into that instinct of being able to imitate what you hear. So once you do that, and you have yourself as a teacher and your students as students able to play and fret those notes, now it's time to introduce a warm-up exercise. So here's how the warm-up exercise goes. By the 12th week of your class, if you're meeting with these students daily, they should be able to play it, or they might be able to play it, or it's possible that they could play it at maybe 60, 65, 70 beats per minute in eighth notes like this. Okay? But that's not going to be how the first day goes, believe me. The first day, for yourself as a player, new to the instrument, and for your students, you got to just be playing these one string at a time. So here we go. I'm going to start with the first finger, first fret, low E string, and I'll play this note. This is arguably the most difficult note to play on the guitar because it's on the thick gauge string, takes a little bit more strength to play, and it's closer to the nut, which means the tension is higher. So if you're having trouble with that, go back to the things I said. Arch your finger, C shape, hold it firmly, but it may take some time to get that right. Then once you have it, 2nd fret, same string with the 2nd finger. 3rd fret, 3rd finger, same thing. Pinky, 4th fret with the pinky, like that. Then you can do the call and response thing at this point. Okay, and then the last one. And let the students respond. And then try this. See if they can play all 4 of those notes in succession. And I'm going to go down and up. And then have them play that back to you. Do that as many times as you need to until you look around and you feel like students are getting it. You can move on to the next string. And then go to the next one. It's the same thing. They'll be comforted to know, and you as a teacher be comforted to know that's the same thing. Same on the D string. Same on the G string. Same on the 2nd string. Same on the 1st string. Then when you get to the top, go up a fret and start going back down. So now I'm going 5, 4, 3, 2. And when I say those numbers, those are the frets. 4th fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 5th fret, 4th fret, 3rd fret, okay? I come to the end, the last string, and normally I'll say that's enough. Sometimes I like to go up to another group of strings, or another group of frets, and continue the warm-up. But that's kind of up to you. I've seen some teachers take this warm-up and they end it with the kids all the way up at the 12th fret or something like that. It's great, however you want to do it. The kids get the option to do some alternate picking and play through with a fretboard, which is good. So notice when I played that, in the right hand, I was doing not all down strokes, not all up strokes, I was alternating. Down, up, down, up. And even when you're playing it slowly, see how many students you can get to do that, and force yourself to do it too, because learning the alternate picking thing is a great thing for later on when they need to play more difficult or maybe faster passages. It's nice to have that. So anyway, that's a great warm-up exercise. Uses all 4 fingers, which I like, and if you do it from day 1, your students won't favor one finger over the other. They'll learn to use all of them.